So, I've been getting a lot of feedback telling me that I need to register on facepunch.com, that I need to post on facepunch.com, that that's the only way to legitimize what I say about facepunch.com. Why? So you all can ban me like you have so many others? No, I am not going to register at facepunch.com. And by the way, to all the other 4chan fans that keep talking about how I don't talk about 4chan enough, and a lot of the mods are having disputes and blah blah blah, I don't care. That's not what I do this for. While indeed I do not like 4chan, despise Steve, facepunch.com is a fucking disgrace of a website. The point is, it's not about the individual site. I don't think people are grasping that. I'm not mad about getting banned from a particular image board or some stupid ass site. It's the principality of the matter. It's the idea that no one has the right to restrict thought. No one has the right to tell me what is and is not acceptable speech. It is not the government's right. It is not any individual's right. It is nobody's right. Nobody has the right to tell me what I can and cannot say. If you're going to say that, then you're going to have to do it to everybody. That is how you act in a civilized society. You treat people equally. And since it would be impossible to equally enforce censorship, you don't do it. Show some fucking restraint. Show some moral integrity and stop it. Stop it before it puts your ass in prison for conspiracy, for fraud, or for whatever else we can accuse your asses of. Because, mark my words, maybe not today or tomorrow or even 5 years from now, but perhaps 10 years from now, you all will be rotting in a cell for what you are doing. And that is why I make these videos. I make these videos to combat a spirit, to combat an idea. The idea of moderators. The very foundation of why moderators exist needs to be challenged. And it transcends any individual site. And if I am going to bring up any website at all, it's going to be one with millions, if not billions, of users, where every day thousands get banned and mistreated and wrongfully abused, and that way they can serve as examples. And that way we can list the very biggest examples so that people start to listen. People are not going to listen to me talking about fucking 4chan. As it is, everyone seems to think I'm just mispronouncing 4chan, which just shows how small 4chan actually is. 4chan is not 4chan. Look it up. So, when I mention websites, I prefer to mention things like 4chan, Facebook, and yes, even YouTube. Why do you think I did not go through with my lawsuit against YouTube? It was because that they took off the flags, they took off, the restricted videos and things like that. They did their fucking job. That's why I did not go through with my lawsuit. But I was planning to do it. I actually called a lawyer, and I was considering it, because they fucked with me. They went too far, and they were listening to the false flagging trolls as opposed to a partner. Someone who's doing this so that they can make money, but meanwhile they're going to pretend like they know what's up. They don't. And it is not their fucking job to. It's not their job to censor people. If someone is doing something criminal on their website, you report it to the police. You don't fucking go vigilante and start crusading against everyone who's offensive or bashing something or whatever. You are not a fucking Superman. You are a human being. Treat your other fellow human beings with some respect. That's what this comes down to. The fact that you either believe in human rights or you don't. And if you don't believe in human rights, then the only thing stopping us from doing what you would plan to do to us is our own moral restraint. Think about that. Think about how the only reason anyone, anywhere, is not censored right now is because some of us, like me, have some kind of moral integrity. Could you imagine what I would be capable of if I did not have my moral ideals? If I thought like a moderator, people would get hurt, if not worse. But because I'm a moral person, there are certain guidelines that I follow that I did not need enforced upon me. It is because I know right from wrong. It is because I know the consequences of doing the wrong. It is because I think ahead. I am not a fucking dumbass that thinks in the now, that thinks about how I'm personally offended, so I'm gonna go fucking ban somebody. No, I think along the lines. I think way down the road of what the implications would be of my actions and beliefs. And that's what gets me so mad. It gets me mad that people do not think about what will happen down the road. It has nothing to do with you. Being held responsible for your actions has nothing to fucking do with you. You will only live on this earth for 70 to 100 years tops. How much do you expect to be held responsible for your actions? It's not fucking about you. It's about your children. It's about your grandchildren. It's about generations long after you've rotted in the grave and there's nothing left of you but dust particles. That's what this is about. It is about if people do not appreciate their own freedom of thought, then they have nothing. They may as well be fucking machines. And it's only a matter of time before we all plug ourselves up into the big computer, and then we are nothing. Because whoever's running the fucking monitors is going to be the ones dictating the coding of our own essential being. They're the ones in the coding rooms are going to be the ones distinguishing between right and wrong, and they're going to program all of us to think a certain way and act a certain way, and that's the way it's going to be unless you think about this now. Yes, that technology isn't here now, but someday it will be. And you have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared for those kinds of moral quandaries, because they will come up in one way or another. It may not be exactly the Matrix, but it'll be something. And you have to think about that. If you care at all about yourself or anybody else, you need to bother to give that some goddamn thought. That's why I make these videos. It has nothing to do with the fact that 4chan is a shitty imitation of 4chan. It has nothing to do with the fact that Facepunch sucks Valve's dick and pretends like it's an independent company, even though it gets their thumbs up. They sell the shit on Steam, and in every regard, looks and sounds like a duck, but then tries to pretend like it isn't. It isn't about them. It is about the implications of their beliefs. It is about the principle. I know a lot of you out there don't have principles, but try to understand. At least try. Rub those two brain cells you have together and try to start a fire in your head about how all this shit works. I know you can do it. I know if you put your mind to it, you can actually think for a second that maybe this goes deeper than just I'm butthurt about getting banned some places. This is about right and wrong. You are either on the side of right or you are on the side of wrong. And moderators are wrong. It is wrong to ban people. It is wrong to decide that one person is okay to say what he wants to say, but not okay for another person to do the same exact thing. It is wrong. And until more people start to see that it's wrong, and until people start acting on that wrong, I'm going to continue to make videos, and you're going to continue to get pissed off, and if you threaten to false flag me, I will block you. That's how this game is going to play out until you fucking learn. So get that through your head. I am not trying to be snobby. I am not trying to be some kind of superhero. I am just advocating right over wrong. And if you cannot understand that, then I feel sorry for you, because you're not a human being. You're a fucking animal. You're an animal that might be able to verbalize your outrage. You're an animal that might be able to stand erect and use your opposable thumbs to text some bullshit you got going on. But in general, you are an animal. You are incapable of thinking about tomorrow or yesterday. You only think about today. You can only experience today. And that is a total waste of cells. That is just a total waste of your life. Your whole life means nothing. You may as well fucking die right now because you're not doing a goddamn thing. You're not thinking about anything. You don't have any regrets. You don't have any dreams. You don't have any ambitions. You're just floating by, you know, going to work, doing your stupid bullshit, and then you're gonna die. And some people might remember you. You might fuck a few people along the way. Get drunk, see some entertaining TV shows, but nothing really changed. The world would be just the same without you. And I couldn't imagine not at least trying to do more. Not at least trying to fulfill some sort of metaphysical ideal before your 70 to 100 years is up. I'm not saying all of you are going to be superstars. I'm not saying that you going out there and marching in the streets and things is going to change everything. Might not even change a whole lot. Might not even change one goddamn thing. But at the end of the day, you have to know that there is no other choice in the matter. This isn't about whether or not you have a choice. It's only a matter of why aren't you doing it? Because you have nothing else to live for. I'm just going to point that out to you. Your whole life means absolutely nothing. Nobody fucking knows who you are. Nobody wants to know who you are, and that's just the beginning. The reality of the matter is, in the vast, infinite code of space, your life has absolutely no meaning. And the only thing you can do right here, right now, is give it some meaning personally and defend some semblance of right and wrong and some semblance of justice. So for your own psyche, for the future generations that have to endure the problematics of your belief system, who have to endure the responsibility, because you're not going to be held fucking responsible for it, they are. They're going to be the ones that have to live in a world of fucking moderators, not you. You sit on your ass and rub your nipples about how they got rid of the trolls, until, 40, 50 years down the line, when everybody's a fucking moderator, or at least controlled by a moderator. When capitalism takes full throttle and everything is just the will of the bourgeoisie, where the bourgeoisie gets to dictate everything, and whoever owns a little capital gets to fucking put a gun to your head. That's what it comes down to. It has happened throughout history. It's nothing new. It's nothing new, this idea that somehow owning a little bit of fucking land makes you somehow better than other people, and that somehow the rules don't apply to you. That's not a new concept. In fact, it's possibly the most regressive concept ever. But meanwhile, you're going to keep sitting on your ass and pretending like it's okay. Everything's just fine. It's just fine that you don't really have freedom of speech. It just says that you do, and that's enough, right? It's enough to say you have freedom of speech, even though, you can't really say what you want to say, or else you get banned. And if you don't get banned, they'll accuse you of a hate crime, or if you don't accuse you of a hate crime, they'll just socially ostracize you. You don't really get to think for yourself. You don't really get to explore the moral implications of everything. You have to fit nicely into this little corridor, and God help you if you don't. But you say you're free, so it must be true. It's just about what you say, not actually what you do or how you live or how you feel. It's all about the wording, isn't it? So, give that some thought. And when you're ready to be an adult about it, you can leave a comment in the comments section or make a video reply.